Okay, I'm sure you literally just saw me cleaning my studio, but it's something I have to do sometimes daily. I try to do a really like deep organization once a week, but sometimes things just get messy. So you can see my table is full again, and I have some painting to do for a client, so I need to clean this off because I don't want to get paint on anything. One thing I have out was this original from my Vibrant Valley collection. This baby is still available in my shop, and I pulled it off my shelf here. I pulled this painting off the shelf because I have these little butterfly stencils I had made for some other pieces, and they looked really pretty when they were all arranged on top of a colorful background. So I just pulled this down to take a few quick shots on my camera. I'm gonna put this back up here. You can see I have a few pieces left from this collection. I have these two, this one, and this round baby here. And I also have my sketchbook page, and I also have my sketchbook page displayed up there. This was from that collection, and I have been doing this where I take a binder clip and flatten out my sketchbook, and then it becomes a little bit of art. And I like it because it shows process, not just final art pieces. So I think that looks really cute up there. These brushes I really should have washed sooner. I am going to wear my apron while I paint, but I think I'm gonna change out of this before I paint because this is my favorite new sweater. I wear it like twice a week. I have this collage frame that I have painted. It doesn't have anything in there yet, but I had it out because I have two of them, and this one I actually have made into a new art piece. I made this little 3D butterfly collage in here. I was just kind of playing around with my butterfly stencils, and this was out on the table, and I thought that could be really simple and beautiful, so I'm really happy with this. And I just made this yesterday, but by the time you're watching this, it will be available in my shop unless it's sold sooner, so I will link it below for you. If you ever see something in my videos, I try to say if it's available in my shop or not. I don't want to be like a broken record and be like, it's in the shop, it's in the shop, but usually if you see something, it is. If you see something and it's not in the shop, you can always email me and inquire about it, or if it has sold out, I always accept commissions to make similar pieces if you would like one. Paint pens to put away, another little butterfly. I've just got a stack of these. I'm gonna save them because I really like the templates. I just charged my camera for a long time and it is still dying. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, there we go. I think my port is loose on my camera, which is happened to me on so many technological devices. I think the ports just get worn out so quickly. I don't know. We're filming on the iPhone now. Drank all my tea, so we'll move that. I'll get my laptop set out. I will watch some Wendy Williams while I paint. My guilty pleasure is Wendy. This is so exciting to me. I made this yesterday. It was my first prototype of making my own hand-painted, hand-bound sketchbooks. So I punched and bound all of this by hand. And I have made my own sketchbooks before, and I have always wanted to offer them, but it's always been kind of on the back burner, and I decided to finally start. I have enough materials to make like 200 of them, so I'm gonna start releasing these in my shop pretty soon. I'm gonna start with the 5x7 size, and I wanna do an 8x10 size too. And right now they have this beautiful heavy cardstock in here. And for my draft, I did a brown back, but the real ones will have this white on the back as well. And then I think I'll sign or stamp each one. And it's an original art piece and a sketchbook in one. And you could keep it like this or cut off the edge and then have a little art piece. So I think it's really exciting. Workspace is completely cleared off now. I had to keep the camera here because this is the only way it will stay charging. This looks a little crazy. move my planner and close this up, and I will pull my paints out of here. I have this little reusable palette that I like. I'll have to go wash that. I've been using these little travel watercolors more lately. I have a Jane Davenport set and a Winsor and Newton. This teeny tiny brush came in this palette, and I've really been enjoying it for fine, tiny detail work. Then I will pull out my watercolors. I did not know that this painting towel was in there. That's very handy. And I think that's all we need except for some brushes. So I have these all still grouped together from when I last did a live painting. And then I think I'll grab a few more back here. Oh yeah, there's two down here. All right. The project I'm about to do are sketch paintings for a client. I am doing a 30 by 40 commission for their home, and it will be on canvas as a watercolor, but I provide sketch paintings to them first so we can determine the layout of the piece and the color palette and get that all squared away before we actually do the original. And this is a problem I don't usually have, but I am almost out of watercolor paper right now. I usually have the Canson watercolor pads on hand all the time, and I'm just out. I went to the store the other day to get some, and they were all out of the one I wanted. So, but I did see on Amazon that they are really affordable on Amazon. So I'm gonna buy some right now. I do have this large sheet, so I can cut this down or just do a bunch of sketches on here and then divide them up, which would be kind of fun. Maybe I could have some, I could really spread out and like lay the whole thing down and play over the whole page. I just pulled this out too. This is a sketchbook I really like. This is by Pentalic. Oh, there's actually some fun pieces in here. This is like a random sailboat sketch I made. Don't love it, but it was a warm-up. This little poem I wrote, I've shared this on my Instagram before. This was some butterfly art for a wedding stationery suite I designed. I've got some abstracts in here. Those abstracts were like plein air paintings I did in my backyard. This is actually a process sketch for this piece. That's cool. These could be framed too. I like these. They don't need to be processed because they're like full originals. I have some more abstracts in here. These are up in my backyard too. Some quail abstracts. I really should pull some of these out and frame them. Oh wow. These were like some Met Ball like fashion sketches I did. This was for a wedding suite too. And then I've got about half of it left. So I might also use this. I won't use the full page format, but this could be interesting actually because the painting is 30 by 40. So that's a 3:4 ratio. And yeah, this dimension is 6 inches. So I could do it 6 by 8. So I think I will cut a few of these down to size. I'll rip them out. And I will do some sketches on there. Even though these were perfectly sized at 6 by 8, I decided to do a pencil border. I just like to have a little bit of white space on the edge of the page. I feel like when I don't have any confines with a pencil, that my mind pictures the canvas bigger. So when I can actually see like the size, I don't like go off the page and I can just overlap a little bit and then just stay that way, if that makes sense. So I drew a border on all of these. I just got back from Target. I thought I would do a quick grocery haul. I'm actually feeling inspired because my least favorite thing in the world is grocery shopping. And I usually enjoy it when Jake goes with me because he enjoys it and he makes it a lot of fun. We like goof around and dance in the aisles and stuff. So I usually cannot stand going by myself, and I was bummed because today I forgot my AirPods, and usually listening to a podcast or music makes it more fun for me. But I have to say, today was like the first time ever that I enjoyed myself, and I think it's because I've been cooking and baking more. So when I'm walking down the aisles, I'm feeling more inspired and thinking about what I could make, and just having more confidence in the kitchen has really made a difference. So I thought I would share what I got because I'm feeling excited about it. This is a really small haul. It's nothing crazy, but I have some fun things for upcoming meals. So one thing I really needed was flour, and I actually got the biggest bag because I've been baking so much. I've already gone through 2 bags of flour, and I have these new canisters here. So I'll refill this. Got some Comet because we have a white sink and this keeps it really clean. I prefer Barkeep's Friend, but I can never find it. Got some almond milk just for my coffee because I ran out, and I got a little bit of vanilla this time. I usually alternate, like sometimes I want the sweetness and then I'll get sick of it after I go through a jug, so then I'll go back to unsweetened. I kind of flip back and forth. I got a bunch of berries. Jake has been eating a lot of blackberries and blueberries in his lunches, but I got enough in case I want to make another mixed berry pie. Jake has been requesting it, and also his birthday is next week and he has requested a blueberry cheesecake, so I could use these for that, but I'm guessing we'll probably go through all of them, so I'll have to get more. And more fruit. I got a box of cuties. I don't think these are in season right now, so they're not the best, but I cannot live without these. Last night I made homemade pizza for the first time with homemade crust. So every other time we've usually done store-bought crust. It was the easiest recipe and it was so freaking good. Jake and I both said it was one of the best pizzas we ever had in our life, which is a big statement for us because we love pizza, and Jake has good taste because he's been to culinary school. So I was thrilled with that. And we were like, we have to have it again. So we'll have it again tonight or tomorrow. Last night we had pepperoni, mushroom, and jalapeno. And for this one, we are gonna do a barbecue chicken pizza. Oh, I forgot the barbecue sauce. Oh well, I think we have some. We only have a Little Famous Days. I might have to pick some up tonight. And I wanted like a sweet sauce to complement all the salt, so I'll have to pick that up. But I did get for the pizza some chicken breast strips and a red onion, and also this cilantro, which is like, this is the only form of herbs they have at a regular Target, but it's already like all shredded, which I think is actually perfect for a pizza. So I'm looking forward to making that. Jake has also been really loving sugar snap peas for his lunches. And I did get a few pre-made things. I got a cauliflower gnocchi. This is just good on a chilly night when I'm craving some pasta. I just throw some sauce on there and it's really good. I got a couple cans of soup for quick meals. They have this hearty chicken and rotini progresso. And then, oh my God, these are my favorite thing in the world. These kind bars used to be called like popped, I think, because I think they have the texture of like a popcorn ball. They're like really light and airy. And I try not to buy these all the time because I will eat one every single day, but they're a good little snack. And I've been craving chocolate a lot lately, and I never saw the value pack before, so I got it. One quick thing, I didn't buy these today, but I got them at Super Target the past few trips. I don't think they carry them at regular Target, but if you have a Super Target, you really should look for these Texas Tamale Company Mexican Deli Gourmet Beef Tamales. Oh my God, these are like probably the best store-bought tamales ever, and they come in this cute cloth sack. They're gluten-free, no lard. I did not realize that. Also no trans fat. And you get a dozen. They have the best taste. I have been putting these in my steamer pot like this. So this is filled with water, and then I just put like 3 or 4 in here, and they steam so fast, perfectly cooked. They're just delicious. So I really recommend these. Okay, I'm tempted to make a coffee with that almond milk, but I bought a coffee before I shopped at Target today. I don't buy coffee very often, but I have this thing on Fridays. I think it's like a fun treat. And I randomly go grocery shopping a lot, like Friday mornings, so I don't really need a coffee. Let's fill this up. I went to the Mill Museum in Minneapolis this summer with my friend Laura, and it's like all the history of how Minneapolis is known as the Mill City, because it was like the biggest manufacturer of flour in the country. They talk about how there was like a learning curve with flour and how they had to mill it safely because the dust that comes off of flour is, I believe it's either 5 or 10. I think it's 10 times as flammable as gunpowder, which is really interesting. And they had a big problem for a while where it was all like going into the air, and then it was also going into the river, and when flour hits water, it like creates these dough balls, and then all the fish were eating them and getting really fat, and I think they might have been dying because they were just like so bloated with flour. So they really had to learn to control the flour. And if you go if you like tour the museum, they have like, if you've ever been in a wood shop, you know, there's like those cloth like sacks with a vacuum that catch all the sawdust so you're not breathing it in. It's basically that technology, pretty low tech, but it catches all the flour dust, and their solution was like to feed that meal to animals to get them fat for growing. Probably not great, but I thought that was very interesting about the flammableness of flour, and I learned a lot when I went to the museum that I would have never known. Okay, we're all set. I'm gonna clean this up and then get back into my work. I changed again, wanted to feel cozy, because now I'm gonna sit down and send off some files of all these paintings, and I have some other paintings I had already made that I'm gonna include for my client. And you guys know me, I am obsessed with my ring light, and I'm actually not even using it right now for filming. It is convenient, but I pulled it out because it got so dark in here, and despite having very bright light bulbs in here that I actually think are like too bright for the space in the daytime, at nighttime they're not sufficient. So I think I need to find some dimming bulbs, because I think my switch over there can dim, but it's so dark in here that this is really helpful. So I pull it over and I tilt it, and it gives me extra light while I work. The one thing I didn't like about dragging this around was that the cord is super long, which is nice because you can really reach it far, but I hated dragging it around. And then I realized that it has this little short cord right here. So I was able to use it earlier today unplugged, and I just use this piece for the tripod of my camera. And then it also has a piece that hooks onto your phone. So it's really helpful. And now I'm using it for light. And I made a little snackaroo. I just watched this girl's vlog, and she made oatmeal with raspberries, and it looked so good. And I didn't have any oatmeal, but I did have this homemade granola I made last week. I thought, why not try and just put some almond milk on top and reheat it in the microwave, and it totally worked, and it's like thick like an oatmeal. So I'm gonna eat this while I work. Good morning. It's a few days later. I am feeling a little tired. I was traveling last night, and I think if I have a second cup of coffee, I'll be doing better. So I gotta go make that. I am editing this vlog right now, and I'm just gonna chat with you and wrap it up and get it edited and finished. But I wanted to say I'm happy to be sharing new videos in the new year. You guys know that with YouTube, I will upload a lot and then be a little quiet. Upload a lot and then be a little quiet. And I thought it was mainly because I needed to be really inspired when it comes to video content in order to want to do it, because there's just so much that goes into it. And the inspiration, I think I've talked about this before, but the inspiration feels different to me than like my other creative projects. Like with art, it's usually always there, but sometimes with video, it's just like it ebbs and flows. But I've been reflecting, and I actually think a lot of it is me like wanting to make the videos perfect and say things perfectly and edit them really cool, and for each video to have like a message and like a, I don't know, very like wrapped up with a bow. And I'm like not really a perfectionist person, but I think that's what's happening with video. So I am really gonna try in 2020 to just like let it go and be okay with casual videos. Like this is a pretty casual video. I filmed like half of it on my iPhone, and nothing like you know, groundbreaking happen, but I'm just showing you my day-to-day life. And when I asked on Instagram recently what you guys wanted to see for the new year, a lot of you just said behind the scenes YouTube video content and just behind the scenes of my business and things. So I'm going to try and give you that, even if it's casual. So that is my commitment. And I hope it works out. So I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I will see you in my next video because I already have quite a few edited. And I'm going to try and stay on this roll and not put too much pressure on myself to make these, you know, the most incredible thing ever. We will just have fun with it. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.